Finally on the program, Governor Sanwo-Olu has inaugurated a newly completed housing scheme in the Ketu area of the state for officers in the state's judicial arm of government. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who also commissioned a warehouse in Ikorodu to safeguard assets tied to court judgments, says government is laying a foundation for a stronger and more accessible justice system for Lagos residents.
A new housing scheme sited in the residential area of Ketu has been delivered by the administration of Governor Sanwo-Olu for officers in the state judicial arm of government. The inauguration of the 2 blocks of 3-bedroom apartments has brought some members of the judiciary sector, traditional rulers, among other dignitaries to the area where Governor Sanwo-Olu and his deputy joins them for the occasion. Chief Judge of Lagos, Justice Kasim Alugba, is delighted about the project and commends the government for strengthening the judiciary to function independently.
What brought about this is that it came to a point when our magistrates were being sued in their own courts and sometimes in the high courts for recovery of possession. You all know how embarrassing that could be. And so we cried to the governor, briefed him about the situation, and he said we must find something to do about it. In order to cut time short, this is the manifestation of the promise of Mr. Governor. And so we will be having at least 24 of our magistrates who are now allocated flats in this place as their residential official quarters. The Attorney General is looking at me, but I won't disclose something else. I'm sure he doesn't want Mr. Governor to hear it. But I'll just say that he also has 10 flats here for senior legal officers of the Ministry of Justice. But there's nothing lost about that. We are twins. The judiciary and the Ministry of Justice, we all serve in the same arm of government in the administration of justice. Mr. Governor, we thank you very much.
It's not just the housing scheme that has been provided for the state judiciary. A warehouse for seized goods is now available in Majindu, pending final determination of the court case. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice is grateful for the provision of the infrastructure.
Today's commissioning represents not just the opening of a physical structure and facility, but the institutionalization of an orderly and transparent system for preserving properties that are subject of execution of judgment of courts in Lagos State. The Deputy Sheriff Warehouse to be commissioned shortly is a vital addition to our judicial ecosystem. It is specifically designed to warehouse properties that are subject to execution of judgment of courts, but which judgment is subject of an appeal and stay of further execution, thereby suspending the sale of the property on behalf of the judgment creditor. Prior to this intervention, such properties were often left scattered around our court premises, exposed to the weather elements, vulnerable to thefts or damages, and presenting an untidy and insecure environment around our courts. This was an unacceptable situation for a judicial system in a center of excellence that prides itself on orderliness, diligence, and respect for property rights. The newly constructed warehouse is therefore to provide a secure, organized, and professionally managed space where such property will be properly stored, documented, and preserved at a cost, pending the conclusion of the appeal from the judgment in question. It reflects the government's commitment to upholding the sanctity of judgment of our courts, while at the same time protecting the property rights of parties, pending final determination of the appeal that affects the judgment.
Governor Sanwo-Olu described the development as an affirmation of his administration's dedication to judicial reform and infrastructure development.
Just about a week and a half ago, we were all witnesses when we handed over new courts, commercial courtrooms at Takwa and Lagos Island. And we said that will be the beginning of a lot of additional infrastructure that will be seen that both ourselves and the judiciary will be handing over and will be commissioning. So we are keeping in tandem with that promise. Where we are here is to look at our entire judicial system. First is to acknowledge that outside of the federal government that has the Federal High Court, which are distributed in the entire 36 states. Your state has the largest body of judges and also magistrates in the country, much more than the Abuja High Court. And so if that is the case, the minimum we can do is to ensure that we make this job a lot comfortable and a lot appreciable for you. Coincidentally, our Ministry of Justice also has been adjudged to be the largest law firm in the country, because they are the one that have the largest council in the entire country, both in public and in private. So you can see that the synergy between our Ministry of Justice and our judiciary is one that is made from my Lord, the Chief Judge. We want to thank you. We want to say to our senior citizens that today we're handing over very modest 34 flats of 3-bedroom each, 24 of it to our magistrates, Ketu, and 10 just to support our counsel in the Ministry of Justice. For us, we see that as a necessary tool to ensure that the welfare of our officers, the welfare of the magistrates, of our judges, the welfare of the staff, the public officers of Lagos State is critical and is paramount to us. It's only when they have comfortable accommodation, comfortable welfare package that they can do their work dispassionately. They can do it without fear of favor.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. We do appreciate you.
The Ketu housing scheme comprises 34 apartments, 24 are allocated to magistrates and 10 reserved for legal officers from the Ministry of Justice. He also commissioned the Deputy Sheriff Warehouse in Majidu area of Ikorodu to help safeguard assets tied to court judgments.
We believe this is another testament of our commitment to judicial reforms, to our commitment in institutional excellence and service to the people of Lagos. The proper management and secure storage of court records that exhibits, in our view, evidence a fundamental need for the integrity of the judicial system. And so with the commissioning of this state-of-the-art warehouse, we're not only providing an ordinary facility, it has come with well-equipped advanced security. And even before we came in, the Chief Judge and myself and the Honorable Attorney General were even further discussing on how to further strengthen the security and the level of efficiency of this place, where we want to further even go ahead and ensure that it meets today's needs and it also meets future needs of what is intended for.
The facility will also support transparent judicial processes, provide a secure, organized and professionally managed space where properties under litigation will be properly stored, documented and preserved pending the adjudication on the court proceedings instituted on the properties.